It can handle up to 100. It'll be fine for a little bit.
Okay. Let's see
Oh,
here.
I have hot. Oops, I have hot water, but no tea bag in there. What? Why? Why did I do that?
All right, there we go. DeFobar is a streamer, dude. She's a friend. They do a show. Never mind. Long story. Anyways, welcome to Final Saycast for this week.
Oh, hello.
Of what is this? The 14th now. So we're halfway through the month
Yep.
already. Yeah. So to start off the show today, yesterday word came out that Kenny Baker, who played R2-D2, died,
Mm-hmm.
and so just thought we'd mention that. This guy, maybe part of the reason why R2-D2 wasn't in The Force Awakens so much.
Right. Yeah, because he's
Yeah,
definitely was getting up there, and he was having health issues.
he was apparently having some issues with his lungs. He's wheelchair bound. Um, but super cool dude. Apparently, what I was reading this morning actually started his career off by being in a sort of specialized, what they called it back then, like a thing for midgets,
Mm-hmm.
acting guild or something like that, and then eventually went on to be like a in the circus and stuff like that. So he had a pretty interesting career, interesting life. But we all knew him as like R2-D2 mostly.
Right.
But
Yeah. So, like a little tidbit about him, though. So when they were originally doing Star Wars, they actually did have a radio-controlled version of R2-D2 that they would use, and they used them on like the wheel moving parts or whatever. But they wanted to use them like all the time, but it just wasn't working out right. So they there wasn't enough life to him, so they got Kenny Baker to actually be in there so that he could bring a little bit like that emotion to him, even though it was small and just shakes or whatever. But it gave R2 his character.
mhm.
So it is Kenny Baker who made us love R2-D2.
Yeah. And so I'm kind of wondering. I'm sure we'll have R2. I wonder if we'll have just radio controlled R2 from here on out, or if they'll just get somebody else to do it. Like they have other people. Who was the other guy who played Wicket?
Warwick Davis.
Davis could obviously probably do this.
Yeah, he could probably step in.
Yeah, but yeah. Apparently, I mean, he's like been in like Flash Gordon and stuff too, which I didn't know.
Yes, he's been on a lot of stuff
Yeah,
actually.
so he's actually got a pretty good film credit to him, and sorry to see him go, but in such a way too. Unfortunately, it sounded like he couldn't
Hmm.
breathe and stuff for like the longest time. But yeah, so yeah, R2-D2 lost his little buddy,
Hmm.
his soul, if you have, be it. So, anyways, this week I thought since we were kind of light on news and whatnot, what we would do is like talk about some games. I know you've been playing Metroid lately.
I have. Uh, so I guess I'll go into detail with that.
Yeah.
So, what is it? AM2R, another Metroid 2 remake. Though
Mhm.
right now it is actually pulled down, but there's ways you can still find it. It's still out there. But it is a wonderful recreation of Metroid 2, which I have been stoked for like 8 years. I've been playing a good bit of that, and he, the guy was like that Doctor M64 or whatever,
Mhm.
I believe was the guy's name who created it. He had a couple other people helping him out, but it's mostly him. So his whole goal was basically to make Metroid 2 done in the style of Zero Mission,
Yeah.
and so he did that tenfold, if not even better graphically. Like there's some things that are really cool. Like he has like
Yeah.
cool like gradient lighting and whatever like inside to like make areas darker and a little bit more ambient and whatnot. And but also just a lot of the mechanics and everything that he added to make it feel more modern. He did a great job where you can actually like do the aiming like up and like to diagonal and uh some of I will say like the platforming for that game is a little odd at first,
Mhm.
but it's not enough to like ruin it or everything. You get pretty used to it after playing it for like 10, 20 minutes.
I would compare it kind of similar to like how Sonic felt off in the first episode of Sonic 4.
Right, but
Like
you eventually get used to
you
it.
do
Yeah.
get used to it. It's just like Samus's arc is like off. Like she doesn't. She like feels like Like honestly, like she feels more like she should, like a ton of bricks, because she's in an armored suit. But when
Right.
she jumps, she just comes down like immediately quick. Where she was, I would say, a little bit more floaty in the Nintendo original.
Right. Right.
But I played a little bit of it. I was impressed with like the bloom lighting effects coming off like the
Mhm.
laser blasts and stuff like that.
Yes, that too. Yes.
Um, One thing I didn't like though is like when you grab onto a ledge, like trying to pull yourself up. Some of that was kind of rickety for me at times.
Yeah, it could be a little odd sometimes.
Yeah, but overall, it's way better than Metroid Two ever was. Like Metroid Two is just a game full of flaws and just the way it plays. It's pulled in too tight and all this, and this fixes a
Hmm.
lot of that. This is a much better version of Metroid Two.
Yeah, I
Um,
agree.
Makes me sad that Nintendo's like, no, you got to take it down because our version's the only one that should stand. It's really not.
Right. Yeah.
um, we'll talk more about this in a little bit, but this is becoming a theme with Nintendo where I don't get it. You would think people from Japanese culture would kind of understand fan remakes and just like let that be its own thing or something. Or
Hmm.
even better, there's no reason you can't grab this, do a little modification to it, and have it run on a Wii, a 3DS, or something like that.
Right. Actually, yeah, pick it up and sell it themselves.
Pick it up, sell it, or even better, pick it up and give it away.
Right.
Because that's what all this guy wants out of it. He's not looking
Hmm.
for any reimbursement out of it. He did
No,
it
you
as
want
a,
to know money.
yeah,
It's all free.
as a fan remake. So
Hmm.
scoop it up or offer him a lump sum of cash for it to sell
Hmm.
it because it is a much better version of your game.
Well, isn't that how Christian Whitehead got started?
Pretty much
Like
Sega
he,
just picked up
yeah,
his stuff and said, "Go for it."
yeah, we like it. We want you to, make this work for what we're trying to do.
Yeah, and that's the whole thing. Sega's whole kind of push towards all this has been more for the fans. Look at the way that the new, what do they call it, Genesis Mega Drive collection is now.
Yes.
Is hey, you got like a ROM hack or something now. You can upload it to the workshop, so you can do something fun. You can do a remake. There's that one. The one that surprised me is there's actually still up. Or Sega hasn't taken it down. I almost said Nintendo hasn't taken it down. Where they actually have the prototype for what is it? You have to have the Sonic One ROM, but it's like the prototype for Knuckles
KIX.
Chaotix.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, Sonic Crackers.
yeah. That's freaking on there. And Sega's like, okay,
All
cool.
right.
You know,
Yeah,
com-
that's cool. Go for it.
complete opposite way of handling things. Like same thing with like YouTube. They're like, hey, you're gonna show YouTube, you're talk about us on YouTube videos and stuff. Go for it. Whatever. Who cares?
Hmm.
So yeah. But Nintendo, man, they've really not been for the fans. So hell, we're in the news now. Let's just go ahead and do the news first today.
Yeah, let's do it.
So let's talk about this. Have you heard about Pokemon Uranium?
I have.
So this has been
Though not too much because not a big Pokemon fan, but yeah, go
yeah,
ahead.
this has been 9 years in the works, and this also came out this week.
Hmm.
Also, a fan made Pokemon, not made off of any existing Pokemon game. Uses existing
Right.
characters, but they also made 50 Pokemon themselves just for this game. And I watched a little bit of it last night in stream, and it seemed pretty cool for people that are into this. It's got also like a very GBA style. The scaling and some of the effects are a little bit beyond what the GBA could do, but
Right.
it's still like within that kind of like wheelhouse similar to the Metroid.
Hmm.
And although these guys have not been told to take it down officially by Nintendo, apparently there's
Right.
been a lot of DMCA's taken down on videos and stuff, and they just said there's 1.5 million of these downloads out there. We're just gonna go ahead and take it down and play it safe. So yeah, this is a shame because treating your fans like this kind of alienates them. But the other thing is I'm sorry to say, like the really hardcore Nintendo people who are gonna have systems aren't really well informed on this kind of stuff.
No,
So
they're not. But
yeah,
unfortunately,
unfortunately, so Nintendo's got one up on them. So there's not gonna be like a huge outcry from this. Like the people that are, it's got a very small group that's gonna be upset over this, unfortunately, and
hmm
they get away with it, because we let them in a way. So
yeah, we do, and it's a tough fight to fight Nintendo over this.
yeah. So let me shift stuff. All right. So, anyways, last little bits here. Overwatch, when it came out for a competitive shooter. So, you know about the tick rate on servers, I'm assuming. Like when you have like an online game, it's basically saying, update this game this many times,
Oh yeah,
so
right,
you know
right,
what's
right.
going on. So Overwatch launched with a low one at 21 hertz. Typically, you usually see 60, especially like competitive shooters and stuff. And people complained
Hmm.
because there was this that lag. I'm sure you've played Overwatch before, like I have, and you'll be like hitting like the shift button for Maze thing or whatever to like block out stuff, and then all of a sudden it's like almost like a second and a half later, and it still doesn't register.
Hmm.
This is pretty much why. So, and they've had it for a little while now where if you actually set up a custom game, you'll actually get up to the new 63 hertz. So, a new patch is coming where they're actually going to make it work for the entire game. And then the way it'll work is if you don't have enough bandwidth for that, it'll start paring itself down towards the 21.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah, so glad to see this because I do feel like Overwatch is a little bit too laggy. Like, even with
It
VSync
does get
on,
laggy.
yeah,
Yeah.
even with VSync on, I feel the lag over VSync.
Hmm.
And I'm like, to me, that's kind of a problem if you're competitive. Let alone some of the issues you've had in the competitive mode so far. So it's like I'm kind of wondering. Like, I played this like last night too, and I was like, first time I like got real heavy in the competitive. And this sucker, man, it's I don't like the way it's set up. It's they we had two
How do you
matches
mean?
where people just left,
Oh yeah, that'll happen.
and then
I
like
think that
especially
it
for
does
me,
penalize them though.
huh?
It does penalize them though,
It
if I remember.
penalizes them, but essentially you're gonna lose the match regardless.
Right. They did do. I know they have something special though. If that team that lost the player won, they get like double XP or something.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd rather see the match just like end and recycle into a new one or something. I
Maybe.
don't know.
It's a really hard thing to do because it's like if you are in the middle of a match and you've been at this match for a while and then it's like these guys left, it's like, well, I mean, restarting kind of feels shitty as well.
Like the game has bots too. Maybe they could figure out a way to put a
That's a good
bot in.
point. Yeah, just put a bot like on high or something
Yeah, or something like that.
to fill in.
Yeah. Or
So
maybe
it's not
the
completely worthless.
maybe the bot's AI could scale depending on the collective uh,
Skill levels.
skill levels. Yeah, something
Yeah,
like
could
that.
do that. That'd be a good idea.
Yeah, but it was shitty. I lost two matches last night ranking in just for people being bitches and leaving. So
Oh,
yeah, I was really salty last night over that.
salty.
Yeah. But anyways, you been playing any more of this, or are you just kind of done with it?
No, I have been playing a little bit here and there. I mean, I'm definitely having fun with it. Still, I'm really digging Anna. I'm playing with her more and more. She's definitely an interesting sniper and one that like is totally different because you pretty much have to stay at least near your people, but yet you can't hide too much either. Like it's a very interesting character to play
Yeah.
with. But other than that, I haven't been playing too much.
And I just want to say thanks, LBs, for the host on Twitch, real quick. Quick.
Oh yes, thank you.
Okay, let's go on to the last thing here. This one kind of surprised me. So, Nordic Games is now THQ Nordic.
That is very interesting. I actually did not know this that they're changed. Wow, changed their name to THQ. So they must have bought the naming rights.
Must have, or they already had it or something, but
Hmm.
they said this is to go towards the reflect more of the titles that they're working on, which is mostly THQ owned stuff or was that they
Right.
bought.
Well,
So,
they bought what, like two or three titles, didn't they?
yeah, they say they now have 23 game projects in development, 13 of that we now know of.
Hmm.
The one I'm looking for is Darksiders. Unfortunately, the only one we know
Yes.
right now is the original Darksiders remastered.
Right. I'm
But
sure they're working on a third one.
yeah, I would love that.
But they have what, Supreme Commander and Red Faction.
Supreme Commander, Red Faction, yeah.
So
So
I mean, it makes sense.
23.
I'm Nordic is. I mean, I love the name Nordic,
I
but
do too.
it is kind of what region based, I guess.
Hmm.
So I understand them changing the name, but I'm okay with it. It's like it's a mix between the two.
Yeah,
It's
it is pretty
bringing
neat.
back the legacy of THQ.
Kind of
but
like
yet
almost like a
still being
Square Enix kind of thing.
Yeah,
Yeah. So,
except less mergery.
and I will say, like the two Nordic games I've played so far, which has been Darksiders 2, whatever the definitive edition,
Right.
And Red Faction, even though those are remasters, they are freaking very well done. Like Red Faction 2 looks like or Red Faction 2. Red Faction Gorilla, I should say. Red Faction Gorilla looks like a freaking new game. It
Oh yeah,
looks
no, it looks fantastic.
They put in like new lighting effects and stuff.
Hmm.
It's not to the point where you're going to be like, "Oh my god, the graphics are great," but they did definitely they tightened
They
up.
definitely, yeah.
Yeah, they fixed and tightened up level 7 with the
A little turn of the knob.
yeah.
God damn that commercial. When I was in gaming school, we used to make fun of that commercial all the time because we're like, this is totally not what it's like at all.
Yeah. The fact that they're fixing bugs with a fucking PlayStation controller.
Yeah, PlayStation controller, they just have this little thing on the table with knobs on it to turn. Like, oh, that fixes it. That's how that works.
It's probably like a light bright or something.
Mm. Light bright. Let's put this here. There we go. That fixes the sprite.
Yeah.
Even that'd be a cool way to make sprites with a light bright. You just put it in, and then it's like boom.
There you go. There you go. Make an entire platformer, sort of like in the vision of like Kirby's Epic Yarn, except the theme this time is the entire game is like a light bright board.
There you go. Ooh, that actually might be really cool looking.
Yeah. Shit, somebody's gonna take that now.
Yeah, probably.
Wish I was creative.
You just came up with it. You mean to actually make it?
Yeah. I just know how to plug servers and stuff in. Anyways. So I thought today we'd talk about games and whatnot a little bit more, like I said. Some recommendations. It's been a light week, so No Man's Sky's out now. I've been watching a bit of that. I don't know what to make of that game just by watching it.
I can't either. And I've been hearing it does have some problems on the PC as of right now.
So, yeah, the problems I've been seeing have been mostly... It is a very CPU intensive... Well, it's not super CPU intensive, but you have to have a decent CPU. The reason being is most of the game's voxel-based.
Right.
And voxels can be actually... Like, their point and position in a 3D space can actually be done off the CPU as well.
Right.
This game uses that very heavily, so if you have a weak CPU, when you start streaming in like new areas and landscape, if your CPU's weak, you have a problem like somebody trying to do like rendering in Minecraft turned up way past what their processor can do or something like that.
Right.
So it's a similar thing. The other thing I've been seeing is a lot of streamers having issues with it because streamers typically use their CPU to encode and then they play this game and like when they're in a spaceport where it's all polygon based, they're like, "Oh, this runs great," and then they go down to the planet and start streaming in. They're like, "I don't understand why it's chopping up. That's why it's chopping up." Anyways, nerd talk. So I'm thinking that's a lot of what it is. I think, I don't know. We'll see. Like most gaming rigs out there tend to be way better GPU than CPU. So I'm kind of interested to see if that's the issue or if it's something they need to fix. I know SLI and Crossfire's been an issue for people.
Really?
Yeah, so...
I mean, SLI and Crossfire always seems to be a coin flip whether it's going to be an issue or not anyways at first.
Yeah. It's kind of the point where I was like, maybe I just don't need that second graphics card slot anymore. It's too much of a problem.
I'm kind of getting to that. Like, I just had that whole thing with I had a chance to get a second graphics card, and I'm like... maybe I'll just put that towards new CPU and everything.
Yeah.
Instead.
Besides, this is cute now. It's like this big.
Oh yeah, your little case.
Yeah. So, anyways, but I thought maybe No Man's Sky's not your game. Apparently, there's a lot of people playing it. It's also got some of the most returns ever on Steam. So there's a lot of people
really?
just not digging the gameplay of it.
Yeah.
So I thought we could take the time to talk about what's coming out this week and also maybe some other suggestions. So actually the first one I put on here, speaking of No Man's Sky, is one that you suggested that I've never heard of before called
Really?
Freelancer. Yeah.
Yes, Freelancer. So Freelancer was the last game that Chris Roberts and Aaron Roberts worked on before he left to work on movies. Came out in 2000, 2001, something like that. So it came out. It's only on PC. It has actually a very good, concise story, but a lot of the premise around it is you're a freelancer. You can go ship cargo, whatever, and it has this big, expansive, open, like, like star system setup where, let me explain the world a little bit. So it takes place way after Starlancer, but that's not that important. But basically the major nations, like the allied nations of modern era, so it's like Japan, United States, Germany, and England.
Mm-hmm.
They couldn't live on Earth anymore, so they sent out these huge ships out to like this area of the galaxy that has these star systems that are all really close to each other. And so each star system that you go into is themed. Like this one is Liberty, which is based off of America, that you see in the video, and like they're all have their region and culture and everything. And your character is this guy who was living on like a space station, and his space station gets blown up, and he gets thrown all into this, and he's trying to figure out what happened. But again, he's a freelancer, so a lot of times it's like, well, I need to you. In the story, you have to like go around and make money to get to your next part. So a lot of times it'll just be kind of like going around doing little random missions and like just shipping cargo to different places. And it has like an economy and everything in there. Like if you ship it to here, it costs more than if you ship it to here, so you get more money and like it. But there's like space pirates and all this stuff. It's this big, expansive world, and like the graphic.
This isn't like America. Everybody's too skinny.
That's Space America.
Okay,
they don't have as much food.
Gotcha.
But yeah, like I mean, if you can deal with like Xbox, like the original style graphics, it's really good. But it also has good cast. It has like John Rhys Davies in it. I forget. I would say Jennifer Hale, I believe, is the main female in it.
Okay.
But yeah, I love this game. It was very surprised. I got it for like $10 at like Walmart one day or whatever, because I was really curious, because I love Chris Roberts stuff, and I fell in love with this game. Also, one neat thing about it too, I was a little bit skeptical because it does not have joystick support. But the reason for that is it actually controls stupid well with mouse and keyboard.
Really?
So like your throttle and everything is like WASD. Like you go forward with W and you throttle down with S, and then you move left and right with A and D, and then to move around is with your mouse, because your plane has turrets that swivel, so it actually shoots anywhere on your screen, and like kind of like how the Wii did it, like
that's kind of
with
cool.
Metroid.
Yeah,
like so see how it like has the arrows and it goes off to like the edge and everything of the screen. So it surprisingly controls stupid well. But I could talk about this game all day, and actually still, as far as I know, still has an online base, like an online community that still plays for the online, which is like a big MMO, just people like going around trading and messing with each other and stuff. It's pretty fun. I definitely recommend it. And also, if anybody loves Cowboy Bebop, their hyper speed trails are just like that, where they're like rings and they shoot you across the star system. It's pretty cool. But no, I love it. I think if you aren't digging No Man's Sky and you can find Freelancer normally pretty cheap online, like $5-10, I'd say definitely go for it.
So this is probably more like the story-based kind of part that's missing from No Man's Sky that people are, because Chris Roberts always does these big, elaborate, huge, like almost like movie set pieces and kind of storylines, and he actually gets like movie talent a lot of time instead of. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, I might actually have to check this out because I'm a big fan of Wing Commander.
Even though as old as it is now, because it's like pushing like 16, 15 years old or whatever, I think it still looks fantastic.
Yeah, it doesn't look bad.
Like it's definitely playable, and who knows? Maybe there's some mods out there to even do some cool stuff to it. So
usually is. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so the game I'm going to recommend next, actually, new game. It comes out this week. Actually, let me stop that so my computer doesn't go and explode. Bound. This is one that I actually wish I had a PlayStation for. This is a platformer that is... You're this girl that's sort of... I'm guessing she's a dancer from the way she moves in the world, and she's got like these streamers and stuff. But it's coming from the idea of this is all happening inside of her mind. And it's got this very cool sort of like crazy polygonal look. Sort of like halfway like grow home to like actual like stuff. And like some of the mechanics and stuff just look wicked cool on it. It's like, because it's all happening in her head, it doesn't have to be based in reality. You can just have like platforms in the building.
Random
and all
stuff,
this. Yeah. Some of the enemies in this game look pretty cool. And you can see here she like handles everything like a dancer. almost. Like
Yeah, the way
here you
she
can see
jumps.
she's almost like tiptoeing across that ledge there. It's kind of like
Right.
crazy, but like when I saw this, I
That's
was
cool.
like, this is stupid beautiful, and this would probably be a cool game to play like 6 hours or something. Get your money's
Hmm.
worth out of it, and yeah. And to
Oh,
me,
that's
it's
cool. She
just
comes down on
yeah,
the rope, the ribbon.
yeah. That game is
Little
just beautiful.
behind.
It's oh yeah, yeah.
Mm.
It is a flipping work of art from the look of it
Hmm.
here. It's pretty
It's
awesome.
gorgeous.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Another one that comes out this week. Let's see here. Oh, she's gonna get beat up. Dancer Ninja. All right. Another one that I'm stupid excited for that I want to play this week. Oh, and I was gonna make a recommendation too. Also, speaking of platformers, here's one I played a few years ago that I fell in love with. It's also a platformer with a similar idea. Same thing. This is all happening in your head, but the art style is very different. So this is
Oh,
called Cloud Built.
Cloud Built.
I've tried streaming this and it doesn't agree with any program, but it runs
Right.
well. It runs really well. As far as
Uh,
like,
I was
okay,
trying to think of this game a few days ago. I'm like, what is that weird platformer that's like in the clouds and stuff? And I can't think of it. I'm like, oh, I think it has something to do with clouds in the name.
yeah,
Cloud Built.
yeah. I love the art style and it's the best way I could tell you to. It's kind of set up for speedrunners more so.
Hmm.
It's not a very. It's not something you go to relax to necessarily,
Right.
and don't expect a lot of story out of it. But I almost look at this as like Sonic the Hedgehog meets Mega Man,
Hmm.
because you still have to like blast objects in your way and stuff.
Right.
I
It's like
love the
perfect.
crap out of this game. Like I've just started going back and playing it, and it's stupid fun. It actually controls better with mouse and keyboard than it does controller, because you have
That's
to,
weird.
yeah, you have to move the camera around like the direction she's going, and
Oh, right,
you
right,
can
right.
just do it so much quicker with a mouse than
Mouse. Right.
anything else. As far as I
Makes sense.
know, this is still only on PC.
Last I knew, yeah.
Yeah, and it's a really good game. But that's another good recommendation if you're looking for something. It should be relatively cheap now.
Hmm.
Also out this week, finally, Grow Home got its sequel. Grow Up is coming out this Tuesday.
Nice.
So, yeah. This game it's adorable. I played it on the stream last Tuesday, Grow Home,
Hmm.
and this seems like this is finally like it's gone from like concept to like a full on like
That's
world.
Ubisoft, right?
Yeah, Ubisoft. And here's the thing: I don't know if I'm hoping the new one will be. The old one was actually natively supported on Linux, and this is the
Huh.
only Ubisoft game I know when you get it on Steam. It's coming directly from Steam. You don't have to launch the Ubisoft launcher.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
So hopefully they're still doing that with this one. So you can see it's got some of the aspects of it. The idea is I think the computer from the first game called Mother,
Hmm.
something happened to it and pieces of it are scattered. So now it seems like they're doing almost like a Mario kind of aspect to it, where you got to go across this world like in different sections to find like the parts to put her back together and stuff like that. And now they have like this rocket ship sort of glider and stuff added to it. So I'm really stupid excited to play this.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, that looks really
Oh, it's
cool.
really neat. I do kind of love this graphic style that's been kind of coming out, where it's pretty polygonal and stuff, but
Mhm.
like all the lighting effects and everything look really cool. There's a lot of games that are like that coming out, and I'm totally on board with it. It's really cool.
I like the flat look, and I honestly liked the
Hmm.
flat look when it was new.
Yeah.
Because it was something different. It was obviously not a pixel, or I should say a sprite or something like that. It
Right.
was something different when it came out new. It's very typically very fluent. Like Virtual
Hmm.
Fighter 1 was very fluent.
Oh
It
yeah.
early 3D when they decided they needed to put textures on everything was just
Yeah.
bad. Like I
Oh
can
yeah.
still play 3D stuff that's like this flat, like Star Fox. Still looks decent. Doesn't run the greatest. Still looks decent though.
Hmm.
But so I don't mind seeing this, and it's kind of weird to see like this. Almost like, what if we did this back in the 64 generation with like the graphics instead of putting textures? I guess there's some games that do that,
Right.
yeah, I don't know. And it's just like the weird thing is too is like I played it and they support freaking any kind of control thing very well. Mouse, keyboard, controllers. They had the Steam controller supported on it. It was
Nice.
freaking awesome. It was like one of the best controlling games on the Steam controller. It was like, so yeah. All right, next one here. I'm actually gonna play this tonight if I get time.
Oh.
Oops, went to the wrong thing. This is Hyper Light Drifter.
Oh
So
yes, Hyper Light Drifter.
this is a pixely stylized game that is basically Legend of Zelda meets Dark Souls.
Mm-hmm.
With the music being done by Disaster Piece. If you don't know who that is, if you've played Fez, that's what the music's going to sound like. He also did The Floor's Jelly, which is like another small indie game. But the
Yeah,
music,
it is. It is gorgeous.
yes. The only hiccup being is this is these guys' Heart Machine first game. Apparently, there's a screw up that they did when they first started the game. It only runs at 30 frames. I don't feel like that necessarily detracts from the game.
No.
The game seems to run well. I haven't had any issues like trying to dodge out of the way. You need to dodge in this game, so the
Right.
timing's very important, stuff like that. But the landscapes and stuff, you've got like forests, kind of like an aqua area, desert, and it's a really cool game. Like as far as like Zelda goes, it's about that same size, maybe a little bit bigger. So you get plenty out of it, and man, this is the atmosphere in this game just like perfect. The way they tell the story in the game reminds me sort of like Journey, where there's no actual dialogue. It's just sort of like pictures and stuff like that, and you get the general idea. But yeah, this is a very, very cool game with, I must say, a badass name.
Yeah, Hyper Light Drifter is an awesome name.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely on my list for sure. I've been wanting to try it out. Pretty hardcore.
Yeah, it's really good. Controls really well. Mouse and keyboard controls even actually pretty good on it.
Really?
So kind of surprised by that. But yeah, anyways, so that's pretty much what I had for this week. So we got any questions or anything like that?
No.
No, people just talking in chat.
Like, I'm just gonna get this out here. So, last couple days I've been having some weird problems where, so I still have like an old version of an i7 which still has a North Bridge. So the North Bridge has been running hot, and I was looking it up, and I'm like, okay, it makes sense because I overclocked the crap out of my CPU. North Bridge is going to run hotter with that, and I was preparing to get a second graphics card because I would use more of the North Bridge. So it was running hot, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to reseat it. The thermal paste on it has got to be like 5 volt. It's been running even hotter, so I've been trying to deal with that. And while I was dealing with that, my CPU cooler, which I have a Antec Cooler 650, it was kind of clicking a little bit. Like apparently it was like hitting a wire or something that was like sticking out in the back of it. So I was trying to fix that, and while I was trying to fix that, though, it threw a fan blade. So right now it still works, but it does shake a little bit. So I have it strapped down. It's not so bad, but at least until I get a hold of Antec, we'll see what happens with that. But but I do, yeah. But for my North Bridge, I got I bought a new heatsink for that, which is it's a deep cool North Bridge heatsink, North Bridge 2 heatsink, I think is what they called it. So it has a little blue fan on it and everything, and it's probably about yay big. So hopefully that'll help solve the problem, and I'll put better thermal paste on it this time. Hopefully,
Yeah,
that'll
deep
help.
cool's what I'm using for my CPU cooler, and I've got no complaints there. So, but,
nice.
Yeah, that's kind of a pain in the ass. It's just
it is
computer problems all around. I've had issues with my headphones in the last couple weeks, so those finally died.
I got new headphones as well. Still Series. I have to give you props. Thank you very much, because I bought the old Siberia V2s, and the left speaker went out on me, which I bought it for like $60. They gave me $90 on their store. So for an extra like $30, I went one up, and I'm digging. These are the 350s. They sound pretty good. The bass isn't quite where I'd want it, but that's really my only complaint. Sounds good, keeps more sound out than the other ones, and also they light up, and I can make them do whatever color I want. So, though I can't see them myself. So,
have you tried any games like Insurgency or something with a headphone mode to see how the spatial? Is it like semi-open or open or anything like that in the back, or they're like grills that are opened up so you can get like a bigger sound space like on the Siberias, or is it just basically lights?
It's just lights on the back.
Oh, it's just lights. Okay, so it's more of a closed headphone then.
It is.
Can
I don't know. I like it. I like the sound of it. It does have its weird 7.1 surround thing you can turn on,
oh
but so far I haven't found anything I liked it on.
yeah,
So,
it typically
um,
doesn't sound great.
no, probably maybe for something that doesn't have headphone mode, it
Mm,
might be okay for it. But so far everything I've played is either made for stereo or is has a headphone mode. So,
yeah, I think for 7.1 you actually have to have it set in that channel configuration,
right.
right? Yeah. So yeah, typically I was looking when I was looking at new stuff. I was like, I could get another cloud and it has a 7.1 thing, but
Hmm.
as comfortable as the clouds were, my complaint was is the soundstage wasn't very good in it. It was like you lit like when there would be sound, you could kind of pinpoint it left and right, but that's about it. You couldn't hear
Hmm.
much else. Like with these and the old Steel Series Siberia V2s, because these are both kind of like semi-open headphones.
Hmm.
Like when I was playing Insurgency as like sniper or something, I could hear the freaking brass rolling down the hill that I just
Right.
shot off. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it's like it was that good. So I was like,
I
yeah,
mean, so far from what I can tell with it,
yeah.
I can definitely tell when like something's behind me or
Oh,
over
okay, cool,
this way. So
cool.
I can tell the spatial
Yeah, on the clouds, I really
part.
couldn't tell anything besides stereo separation. That's about it. So,
Okay.
but yeah, these have worked out great. These sound freaking. The only thing I've really played that's had like a really good headphone mode. Well, Overwatch, but I don't think you really need that much positional awareness in Overwatch. There's too much shit going on the
Maybe.
screen, anyways.
Yeah.
But
Most of the time.
Rainbow Six Vegas, dude. My God, I played these compared to the clouds. I could hear footsteps above me,
Hmm.
like
Have
when
you
people were
played that
coming to me.
recently? By
Yeah.
the way, didn't they put out some new stuff content recently?
Oh yeah, they put out like 2 patches since then. There's like 4 new characters or something like that.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, a couple
You
new
still, so
maps.
you're still digging it, huh?
It's fun with friends. So like if we
Okay.
get together, shoot AI characters and stuff. I really haven't played that much online of it. The community's still pretty toxic on that one. Like they take it like way too
Too
seriously.
seriously.
Yeah. So yeah, but I've had lots and lots of fun with that game. I definitely got my money's worth out of it. I'm kind of curious to play Alien Isolation with these now.
Ooh.
Yeah, but for fucking $40, hey, all I had to do is I took the padding out of the clouds, the extra ear padding or sound
Hmm.
dampeners, and I just put those behind the sound dampeners on this so they're a little bit softer, and I stretched the shit out of them, and they feel a lot better now. But they still don't hold up to the comfort on the clouds to where it would be like I could have those on all day and my ears wouldn't
Hmm.
hurt. Like my ears will hurt after about 6 hours in these.
Ooh.
Yeah, so I have oddly shaped ears. Like don't know what to do about that. But anyways, let's see what else is going on this week. So today I'm not streaming anymore. Unfortunately, I've got company coming over this week, family. So my normal stream times are probably going to be affected. I don't know. We'll see. I'll still try to stream, but just stay tuned to Twitter to see what's going on with that. As far as the freaking YouTube page goes, I'm sorry that this is the only thing we've been doing lately. I think me and Joe have been pretty busy. I'll have a
Hmm.
video of this case up, and I'll have a video on these headphones up fairly soon. But I think I just gave you the review, so there you go.
You want it more in depth.
Sure. They hurt
Hmm.
like a son of a bitch. Stretch them out. Uh, let's see what else is going on. Anyways, if you're listening to this on the actual audio portion, I keep on forgetting to mention this. Make sure that you come check us out live on Twitch at twitch.tv/cell processing or on YouTube at Final Save Point. We do a broadcast of both at the same time.
Hmm.
And so if you guys want to come hang out, participate and whatnot, please do so. And that is 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on Sundays. Other than that, I'm going to go ahead and end this portion of it for right now and see you guys later.
Yep. Bye bye.
Keep staring at the camera.
Hmm. Let's keep staring.
Yeah.
Even though I think it says we're off air. Are we off air?